There has to be no self-love and no self-belief there. That's got to be somebody that looks in the mirror and goes, I've peaked. I've done everything I can do in life. In fact, I've gone so down the hill, there's no coming back from this. How can I destroy this person who has been through hell and back, who is a mother kept from her kid, and she still gets up and goes every day? How can I destroy her today? That'll make me feel better. Hey, so I'm kind of in a mood today. There are so many things that I want to say to my child that I cannot say to my child because he won't talk to me. He won't talk to me because a man spent over 14 years creating a narrative around a story that worked for him so that he could avoid taking accountability. The entire narrative, the story that has been told to my child, none of it is true. And it is literally a narrative, a terrible, vile, wicked narrative that makes me out to be the villain, and them the family, and my ex the savior. And I just really want to talk about how this is so normalized within people who have been put down, kept down, removed from things that they had a right to, whether it be their homes, their children, just human rights. And I'm so frustrated with this that it's like literally I'm struggling to talk because I'm so mad right now. The fact that this is still occurring 14 years later. See, here's the thing. I want to talk to the younger girls. I don't want to talk to them my age or older because y'all understand. Y'all know. You're saying the same shit I am. There's a reason they don't date women over 30. There's a reason they say that 27's the cap. When you're around somebody, if this person that you're with, that you're giving your love, your energy, your time with, cannot take accountability for the things that they do, whether it be hurting you, staying out late, bringing friends over, doing things that just you don't need to be dealing with, childish things, emotionally immature things that somebody who's not emotionally evolved would put you through. If you're in a dating relationship and you have these instances, you experience these problems, take it from someone who has dealt with this. And when I say dealt with it, I mean I loved that man more than life itself. I mean, there's still love for him. Where is his hair coming from? There's still love for him. And I hate myself for that. But I have more love for myself. And I don't want to set an example. And I have never wanted to set an example for my child that allowing that behavior was okay. And so where we are now is because there are quite a few people that have done quite a few things that were not legal to ensure that they could stay in power, to stay in control of the situation. Federal laws have been broken. And because I'm still, again, trying to gain traction, again, with my photography, I'm building something completely different now. Before I was in an industry where the government didn't like what you were doing. So it was a big situation. It was a big deal, and just getting out of that industry altogether because it was relatively easy money, but it wasn't stable money. And the last 5 years, I would say, became so hard. It became so hard. And that was really when it was drilled into me that like the people that create the content are the ones that are going to thrive the most in this upcoming era of whatever the hell our world is going into. So now that I'm building out and I'm seeing growth with my photography, I've also seen stagnancy since my child came back into my life, which only further proves my awareness of what's been going on behind the scenes so that I can't get ahead. The problem with that now is that I'm not the brand. I mean, my what I'm creating, my photography is, but me personally, my face is not the brand. And a lot of times before, things were able to be removed, deleted. This was not me doing this. This is someone hacking in and doing this to my accounts over and over and over and over again. These would be criminal charges if I could prove it. I don't know how to prove this shit beyond just the patterns I'm seeing, and my autism picks up patterns. So it's really frustrating because there are double hits here. As they know that because of the things that I deal with my autism, I can't go after them the way that I would like to. I have the ability to see everything happening, but I don't have a big family with me that will literally break the law to keep my child away from its parent. I don't have that. That would be really cool. But, even if I did, my family's not like that. They would never do that. So I'm really frustrated because I'm seeing stagnancy with that. Not as much as I would if I were my own brand, but I'm still seeing stagnancy where it was growing. Now it's hit. And now I'm seeing stagnancy and getting hit with things that I shouldn't be getting hit with, which shows to someone fucking around in my accounts. Like someone just got into my ChatGPT. Like the things that I was being told was insane. And then even the ChatGPT itself goes, yeah, that sounds like someone's in your server. And that's why OpenAI logged you out and did what it did, because it's protecting the information. So I don't know if they actually got into anything, but it's like, wow. Can you imagine if this person who has spent 14 years of their life, I'm not going to say any names, I know who it is. You know who you are. Can you imagine if this person stopped taking 14 years of aggression and bitterness and feeling like a loser and instead put that into something of themselves and built their own company? The type of drive this particular person has, they would be not a millionaire, a billionaire. They would be a billionaire if they put that fucking drive into something conducive for them. I'm not for their children, but instead of building something for their children that will give their children a better hold on life, a better chance at life, they did everything in their power to break their child down. And on top of that, silently fed evil wickedness to their child's mind, making the child think that their mother didn't love them and didn't want them. Meanwhile, mom was autistic and unable to fight these villains. I'm in a bad mood today. These fucking bugs are all over my shit. I'm in a bad mood today. And I'm not going to be out here sugarcoating it. I'm fucking pissed. My feminine rage is reeling. It is never good when it gets like this. You know, it's never. And here's the thing that this fucker doesn't understand. Where they chose to find ways to try to break me down, I saw everything they were doing and I found ways to build myself up mentally, because I don't have a fucking gang of people who are cowards that will literally group together to try to take one person down just so they can't get a lawyer to fight for custody. So I'm out here really pissed today. And it's just reiterating everything that I'm doing, because it's like, see, people with a weak mentality, people that I haven't had to fight to survive, who haven't literally been homeless, that don't know what it's like to not eat, that don't know what it's like to not know where your next fucking meal is going to come from, let alone where you're going to sleep. And the people doing this definitely don't know what that's like. My phone ran out of space. What I was saying is, the people that do this, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to see another person take the way that they're living so offensively that you're going to find other people who will also find that person's life offensive. And then you'll take your free will, the time that you've been given to do anything else in the world, and you'll find ways to break them down as a group. What is this, bonding practice? Weak people have got to take down people that won't cower to them. Because if they don't, then the rest of the world sees how absolutely cowardly and weak and pathetic they are. I never talked about this, so let's talk about it, because it's not a lie. The reason I left that man was because he picked me up by my throat and held me against it right after I had just put my child to bed. And I never told anybody that because I didn't want to ruin his good name. And now I know someone happens to have a lot of things in their background that have to do with dealing with spousal issues, physically. If I had said something then, maybe the other women that were ensnared in his lies. Now, I really want to be kind to them, but they literally got with a man and then went, "Let me help you destroy this woman." Young girls that are younger, that are dating, I'm going to tell you something that hopefully your mother would tell you. If not, maybe she's part of the problem. You stay here, sit. You never want to be with someone who, if you're ever in a situation, I don't want to joke about this. If you're ever in a situation where the person that you love, maybe you've had a child with them, physically puts their hands on you, do not lie to yourself and tell yourself it will get better. Remove yourself and your child from the situation. I was really young. I did not understand the things that I was dealing with in regards to what type of person this was, how their family was. And so I just gave them the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to tell all these younger girls that may be watching one thing, and that is, if they show you who they are, you believe them when they show you. Otherwise, you could quite possibly run into not having a good relationship with them anymore. What's up? Okay, drive safe. There are many men in this world who resent women. The women do not have had to do anything to these men to make them resent them. Hold on one second. Okay, wow, there have been so many interruptions with me trying to just get this out today, which lets me know that I really need to talk about this. This is something that really needs to be talked about. As a young woman, depending on what country you're in, but America especially, you are gonna have a set of beliefs that were probably ingrained into you, conditioned into you, taught into you from a young age. Many of us were taught to center men around our lives. Marrying a good man is the mark of a valuable woman. You know, it was never really like going to school was what you needed to do. I mean, even as I was growing up, where the times had sort of changed, they really had. They really had. And I remember thinking I wasn't good enough for my kid's dad. I remember thinking that his family was so much higher than mine on like the tax bracket, and because of that I let a lot of treatment slide that I would never let slide now. I don't think that dude would have even made it past a first freaking date with me now, who I am now. But when I was younger, I was so needy to be seen by a male because my dad, not my uncle, the one that I call dad, but my dad just didn't want anything to do with me. But he was a gay man who wanted to be a woman. So, you know, I honestly don't think it started that way. I don't know when that happened, because when I was really young, I remember him being really wonderful. But luckily I had my uncle, who's also gay, and respected women so fully that I was able to see firsthand what it looks like to have a very strong masculine man in your life who doesn't need to beat down women or put them below him to feel better about himself or to feel powerful, which is what a lot of men do. And so I'm having a problem now in that, like, I'd like to find a partner, but I want a partner like the man that I was raised with, who's emotionally mature, who doesn't need to start fights to feel like a big dude, that doesn't freak out because men are looking at me, because men are almost always looking at me. And I know that sounds cocky, but I've been a model for over 20 years. I have been paid for my looks for over 20 years. It doesn't matter if I'm your cup of tea. I'm a lot of people's cup of tea, and that's what kept me a model for a long time. So that's another thing. Men seem to need to humble women so wholly because they've been humbled by women believing in themselves. How does this happen? How does this as a human, not just men, but like many humans, but I'm seeing it in the dating pool myself as a woman looking for a man to date, okay? I'm not man-hating at all. I love men. I love strong, masculine, healthy men so much. You guys make the world a safe place to live in for women like me. I have a mouth. I am autistic. So I speak on truth before I think about how that speaking on truth might affect me on a safety wise. I mean, I've gotten better in my 37 years of age, but it's not something that was easily attainable for me for a long time. So strong, healthy, masculine men that go, hey, don't touch her because you don't like what she said. And I'm standing here and what she said was true. So definitely don't touch her, because then you get to deal with me. We need those men in this world, especially now, because so many men are cowards that think, oh, I can just go up and do this and this and this to women. When I go on a date and I shared what men do, that man was flabbergasted. He was like, what are you talking about? And I said, first off, it's always a red flag when a man pretends like he doesn't know what other men are capable of, because the good men and the really great men, like the really great, incredible men, the ones that you just never want to leave your side, they're like, don't trust any men. Even me, I'm bad. Even the incredible, most amazing men you could think of, they'll say, don't even trust me to a woman. They almost always do that. If they don't, it's because they think they're never going to leave your side. But my daddy even said that to me so many times before he passed. Like, do not trust these men. Do not trust them. Do not take them at their word. Look at what they do. If you cannot see their actions aligning with their word, they are not going to do what they're promising you. They're going to cause problems in some way. There's a big bird running. I can't tell if it's a buzzard or what. Divvy, stay close to mommy. So yeah, I'm really frustrated because this behavior that he's reiterating that's continued for so fucking long has been backed by his own mother. Can we talk about male-centered women that become mothers, that become toxic mothers because they just want to cheer on their son and think that he's doing everything good while they simultaneously refuse to look at how their sons are acting? This is so dangerous for the world. And to be a mother who sees your son illegally keeping his child from mother and then going, I'm gonna back that. Full chest, I'm gonna back that. What do you need me to say about everybody? Let's just start our story right now. Let's create a story. What do you need me to say? And like my YouTube's been like stifled. Like no one's seeing my YouTube now. So it's really frustrating It's really fucking frustrating. There has to be no self-love and no self-belief there. That's got to be somebody that looks in the mirror and goes, I've peaked. I've done everything I can do in life. In fact, I've gone so down the hill, there's no coming back from this. How can I destroy this person who has been through hell and back, who is a mother kept from her kid, and she still gets up and goes every day? How can I destroy her today? That'll make me feel better. That's not somebody that scares me. That's somebody that if they got in front of me and fucking threw a fit, I'd laugh, which would probably cause them to physically rage out, which would probably be unsafe for me, but I don't care. That's the thing. Men who think that it's okay to hit women do not scare me. I will still laugh at them. And I have a few times. That's why I am this way. People don't understand the shit that I've been through because I don't look like the shit I've been through. I can't look like the shit I've been through. I'm autistic. That would make me a bigger target than I already am. And don't get me started on the men who can't fathom how a brain processes things differently than them. So they want to blame something like the autism on Tylenol. I am tired. Anyway, yeah, I'm really frustrated with how things have been going and the way that I haven't seen any justice. I haven't seen anybody care about the things happening at all, you know? And then even my own family has gaslit me, like, well, why aren't you doing more? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I've genuinely had my family say that to me, that family isn't in my life anymore because they also worked for the state. They also had friends, like, that are lawyers, and none of them offered to help at all, knowing I needed help. Like, to have a family that's this big and just have everybody pull away. Why? Because of my mother. Like, there's a reason I don't talk to my mother. I have a huge family, and that woman has single-handedly made everyone hate me, and I don't talk to anybody. And for years, I didn't know that's what she was doing. I didn't know that that's why she was on Facebook connecting to everybody. I never got onto Facebook, so she used the few times that I updated as a, like, look at what she's done. I didn't tell anybody about the physical things that happened before I left. I couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that the man that I loved did that. And he started doing this shit like when my dad got really sick with cancer. So it was like he was showing me who he was gonna be when my dad was not there anymore to protect me. And I fucking ran. And what I should have done is tell his parents, and I should have told my mother, and I should have told the fucking police, and then I should have taken my child, and I should have gone to stay with my family here. That's what I should have done, because we would not be in the position we're in. He would have gone and maybe gone to rehab, maybe got some fucking therapy, fixed himself. But instead, everyone around him has fed him a lie that I was the problem and that he's in the right to do what he's done. And men wonder why I am so okay without them. Like, men are so delusional. Like, they see me, they go, oh yeah, she needs me, bitch. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't even want you. I don't want to touch you with the 10-foot pole. You act like the man that has literally made my life hell for the last 14 years. You're one of them. And I know a lot of people that have autism like, oh, we attract them because of this and this. I don't give a fuck. I want them to leave me alone. And I'm not like this quiet, timid person that I used to be. I have this mouth on me and I pop off, and I don't care if I'll get beat up or shot or killed. I don't care. Like, this is what becomes a problem. This is when it's a safety issue for me. This is why I don't leave my house after dark. This is why I don't go to bars and have a drink by myself, because my mouth will get me in trouble. And if anybody has a problem and they are emotionally dysregulated, physically they will probably take it out on me, because emotionally dysregulated people can't do anything but throw tantrums. They're the people that need to stuff some socks into another sock and bang the freaking couch. That's what my mother taught us as kids. Was it really mentally healthy? I don't know. But I had so much rage as a kid. She literally took a sock, stuffed it with a bunch of socks, and she said, go hit the fucking couch until you don't feel like this anymore. And it was honestly the best thing she could have told me to do. I don't know why I didn't think to pass that on to my kid. I think I kind of forgot. And my mother and I think she's also autistic. The family doesn't want to talk about this because back in the day, their idea was, don't bring it up. Hi, Crow. Hi, Crow. Go sit right here. I don't know why they're circling for some reason. Yeah, that's a crow. It's not I got 2 crows. I've been trying to befriend the crows. Oh, there's 3. Pretty crows. I don't know how to pull the crows in. I've wanted to know for a while. Anyway, what was I talking about? I don't remember. The crows distract. They're chilling. They're just gliding. Yeah, those are crows. Hello, pretty crow. You are so pretty. Is that a crow? No, they're buzzards. They're buzzards. What are they doing? What's over there? There's got to be something dead in the field. Anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about. Okay, so what I was saying is, when my mom was really young, I think she was 13 or 14, she took a handful of pills. Like, she was trying to end things because she was getting bullied relentlessly. Like, it was really bad, just so bad. She had scoliosis as a kid, and then they got surgery to straighten her spine, but she was in a big cast for like a long time. And I think the kids were really cruel. If I remember right, the kid put a frog down her. So she doesn't like frogs. She's never liked frogs because of them doing that to her. And then she's also got a thing about things coming up here. She can't wear anything on the neck because of it. You know, like it mentally really messed with her as a kid. And so she tried to take a bunch of pills and, you know, end her life. I mean, and bullying has always been bad, you know, but it's actually so normal for this to happen, where kids just can't take it because they don't have the support of their parents. So when she took those pills, they obviously had to take her to the hospital, and she obviously didn't die because she had me and my sister, but it did something to her brain on a chemical level. And so where she may have been a completely different mom, she always saw me as like the enemy. Like, I was always someone that was taking attention from her. And then when I got older and my autism really started to kick in, I had really bad gas when I was a kid, like so bad that like they'd have to take me to the ER. What it was is that my body couldn't break down the red meat. I know that now as 37, not able to eat any red meat because my body started to not be able to break it down in 2017. So from her perspective, and the way that America has like conditioned adults with children, adults just automatically assume if children are doing something, it's like not what they should be doing. That's not how society accepts children's behavior. Adults assume that children are being nefarious and like doing it out of like aggression or cruelty or to be petty or to get on their nerves on purpose. And it's like, at least as a kid, all I wanted was my mom to not look at me like I was the fucking problem, the bane of her existence. That's all I got from her was, what do you want? What do you need? It was never, hi, hun, how are you doing? You look beautiful today. I never got that type of treatment. I don't even know what that's like. That's so foreign to me that when I've had relationships like that, I've fucking sabotaged them. And that's honestly like something that I can't really heal on my own. I would say all of my healing, I've gotten to the point where I've done everything I could pretty much do alone, and now it's time to let other people come into my life, and sometimes you need others to help you see when you're not normal, but a lot of people are not patient enough to even allow that to happen. So there are a lot of us who've done our work that would probably be great wives, husbands, but because we don't have anybody to try to be patient with us, to let us dip our toes into that, a lot of us just stay single. And that's kind of where I think the difference with my mother and I is that she told me years ago for what I had called or asked for, and she said, LP, my name's not LP, that's what I go by now. She said, LP, I'm not mom anymore. You're gonna have to figure this out yourself. I'm blank now. Said her first name. And I remember just like being in awe and like shocked and like, I'm so sorry. Like, my response to her wasn't upset. It was, I'm so sorry that you felt that you had to compartmentalize who you were to be a mother. No wonder you were so terrible growing up, because you didn't think you could be yourself. And no wonder you resent me, because I only know how to be myself as a mother. Like, nothing changed for me in that, that wasn't like, what I mean, nothing changed is that like my persona, who I became every day was I just expanded that from who I was to being that, and now the person that my child needed me to be. And, you know, from anyone's standpoint that hates me, they'll tell you, what, she was never a mother to her child. Yeah, I was. And I have been in big ways. And they can't take that from me. They cannot take that from me.